Folks, we gotta talk a little bit about political corruption. It's this hot new thing. All of the speakers of the House are doing it. And by all of them, I mean specifically this one. Look at that. It's Mike Johnson, everyone. It appears that he has been incestuously paying other members of the conservative movement for his housing with the use of his campaign funds. And, I mean, it's not a huge amount. It's $15,000. And in the grand scheme of things, that's small. But, like, it's pretty interesting, right? Like, just take a look here. The formal complaint lodged by the Campaign Legal Center came just months after the House Speaker moved to a new home in the capital city following reports that he'd been living alongside an evangelical pastor in a townhouse owned by a major Republican donor. Because, if you'll all recall here, Mike Johnson was living in a house that was owned by an evangelical, like, megachurch pastor who was essentially renting it to him for free. And what Mike Johnson, of course, was like, no, it's not affecting how I legislate at all. Of course not. This is just my best friend ever, and he's doing me a favor, teehee. Well, those allegations about how strange that was and how, hey, that looks pretty effing corrupt, got him to move, and so, of course, he moved into a brand new house owned by another Republican. The watchdog group, in its FEC complaint filed Wednesday, pointed to five $2,500 disbursements from Johnson's campaign account since March, which were titled Rent and totaled over $12,000. The funds were directed to a company called Green Properties, located in Vista, California, and owned by California Representative Darrell Issa. That's so strange. Is Mike Johnson the same guy who has his porn usage monitored by his own son? First true virgin. Yes, it's the same guy. Thank you for the 500 biddies. So, yeah, basically, he is using money that was donated to his personal political campaign in order to pay for his own housing. And that money is going to one of his political allies. Seems pretty bizarre, in fact. Pretty odd. This is effectively a way to funnel campaign funds into another politician's, like, personal finances.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were indeed roommates, Spitfire. Thank you for the $10 Australian.
Relax, guy. There's nothing to see here, buddy.
Indeed, friend. Socket dinner, get there for the 2 tier 1 subs. But, yeah, it turns out there's a whole kind of scam that gets run in these political circles. Because a lot of political people own properties in Washington, D.C., and they're all too happy to rent them out to other politicians. It becomes like this way to launder money. And people are pretty familiar with it because, hey, it happens all the time. Like this, Clarence Thomas's lawyer says a billionaire bought his mom's house because it was in a blighted neighborhood full of junkies, and they wanted to help her keep living there. You know, when a Supreme Court justice just has his mom living for free because a billionaire decided to buy her house to help her. But it's not, don't worry, it's not a political contribution. It would have no bearing on his judgments on the Supreme Court whatsoever if something, say, negatively impacted the man who's allowing his mom to live in her house. Again, this is just happening all the time. All the time. It's not even subtle. It's done out in the open, right? And there really does need to be more laws. There need to be more laws against this. This is just from last year. Political spending tops $1.8 million at Trump properties this cycle. That's $1.8 million that political campaigns gave to Trump's businesses. That is a way of laundering campaign funds into personal funds. And it's not okay. Like, our political process is deeply corrupt, and this is by design. It is by design this way, because capital seeks to hold increasingly more leverage over the political class in this country. The entire purpose of this is to buy political favors. It is to, both between politicians, between lobbying groups and politicians, between private citizens and politicians.
The GOP opposes handouts. Unless you're a Supreme Court justice.
Unless you're a Supreme Court justice or already like a billionaire. If you're a billionaire, you're going to get so many handouts. You're going to get handouts you never even asked for, simply because you were on that end of the capital spectrum. Like, it is absurd and disgusting. I just, worth noting that for whatever reason, no one seems to care that the current Speaker of the House is funneling his campaign contributions to another Republican, and no one seems to care. No one seems to care. Not a big story, not a scandal. Again, the media has been captured by capital. Simply put, it has been captured by capital, and capital now owns the strings of both media and the political elite. And that's scary. That is a scary component of everything that is happening right now as the United States descends into fascism. Right? And it's something we need to keep pointing out, I think. I think it's important to keep pointing that out. Because if we don't, it becomes more normalized, becomes less examined, and we can't allow that. If we want our democracy to persist, we have to attack this with everything we've got. In a normal time, under normal circumstances, this is the kind of scandal that would get, a House Speaker to step down or to, be ousted. But these are not normal times. So, keep being loud about injustice, folks. And honestly, consider calling your House reps. See if they're willing to start making it an issue. Because again, as we have seen, when people in Congress decide to make something an issue, weirdly, it's like the media responds to that. So bizarre. So call your representatives and see what they can do. Keep bitching, it's the only way. Unironically.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.